I twirled the bourbon in my glass, the amber liquid catching the reception hall's muted glow, like a flicker of memory I wasn't ready to name. Around me, the wedding unfolded in the usual polished chaos. White linens, hollow laughter, resentments draped in silken pearls. At the center of it all stood my ex-wife, her laughter sharp and bright. Rehearsed, the crowd gathered around her. She looked right at home among the curated smiles and social climbers. And then, as if yanked by fate, her gaze locked onto mine. Her expression faltered. I wasn't supposed to be here. She hadn't invited me. Her new husband had, in the spirit of polite ignorance. He had no idea of the history beneath our cordial smiles, no inkling of the years we'd buried between champagne toasts and quiet betrayals. She approached, her voice cutting through the din like a scalpel laced with venom. "You're here?" she hissed, a faint smile disguising her fury. "Didn't think office clerks made it onto guest lists like this." Her friends chuckled, their manicured fingers wrapped around the stems of fragile wine glasses. I didn't flinch. I didn't look away. Her husband, oblivious and beaming, turned to me. "Wait, what'd he do again?" I took a breath, let it hang, then answered with the precision I was trained for. "Auditor." The word dropped like a gavel. The room didn't just go quiet, it froze. Faces turned. Her lips parted slightly, then closed again. Her friends shifted uneasily, their laughter curdling mid-breath. She hadn't always been like this. Or maybe I just hadn't wanted to see it. We'd met in our early 20s, full of ambition and naive hope. We built dreams out of IKEA furniture and ramen noodles, made sacrifices we told ourselves were for love. I worked late. She hosted dinner parties. I turned down career moves to be home more. She spent those nights texting someone else. "You're too predictable," she once snapped during an argument, her voice full of disdain. "All this tedious desk work. Where's your ambition?" I swallowed the insult, chalked it up to stress. I loved her, so I forgave what I didn't yet understand. Then I found the messages. Not one affair. 3. One of them a close friend. "He's so easy to manipulate," she had written. "He'll never figure it out." She was right for a while. I hadn't gone looking. I was ordering dinner from her tablet when I saw her synced messages. That's when the curtain lifted. But I didn't confront her, not right away. For 3 months, I played the part. Kissed her good morning. Packed her lunches. Slipped vitamins into her purse with steady hands. At night, I audited her life. I took screenshots. Tracked her transactions. Photographed receipts. Documented hotel bookings, rideshare records, and calendar entries cleverly disguised as Pilates. I paid for a private investigator through layers of proxy payments. Everything I did stayed within legal bounds, cold, clean, exact. She thought I was a clerk. She didn't know I was trained in forensic accounting, specializing in unraveling complex fraud, hidden assets, and high-stakes regulatory violations. She called my job boring. I built cases airtight enough to withstand federal scrutiny. By the time I filed for divorce, I had already shifted every asset she assumed she'd claim. The coastal penthouse, purchased through a shell corporation. The investment accounts, moved under my sister's name years prior. The car, technically leased by my firm. She laughed when I handed her the papers, slurring through her wine. Finally growing a spine, she sneered. She stopped laughing when the settlement arrived. She fought back, hired a lawyer, but the fight fizzled when he reviewed the documents. Contracts she'd signed blindly, post-nuptial clauses embedded in real estate paperwork she never read. Every signature a nail in the coffin of her argument. She walked away with a couch and a few throw pillows. Told her friends I was a villain. Told them I'd ruined her life. They didn't know the whole truth. Not yet. Time moved forward. So, did she? She married again, this time to a tech entrepreneur chasing government contracts. They needed a consultant with federal clearance for a sensitive audit. Guess who was assigned? I didn't mention the past. I didn't even use her name. Just showed up in a navy tie she once gifted me and shook her new husband's hand like any other client. She recognized me instantly. He was impressed. She said nothing. Until tonight. "Auditor," her husband echoed, turning back to me. I nodded. Calm, measured, Federal investigations mostly. Financial impropriety, identity fraud, undisclosed assets, divorce concealment, that kind of thing. The words landed hard. One of her friends clutched her necklace. "I thought you were just a paper pusher," she whispered. "I am," I said evenly, "but I specialize in what people try to hide." Her husband turned to her slowly, confusion bleeding into suspicion. "You two knew each other?" I met his eyes, then hers. "We were married." The room gasped, small, sharp sound like glass cracking under pressure. I sipped my drink. There's a word for what she did to me. Gaslighting, financial betrayal, strategic manipulation. In court, it's expensive. Sometimes it's criminal. Her lips parted again. Barely a whisper now. "You wouldn't—" I didn't. I leaned forward, my voice for her alone. "But I did flag a few accounts tied to your new business. Possible conflicts of interest. Someone should be taking a look soon. You might want to get ahead of it." Her face drained of color. Her husband turned rigid. She whispered, fragile as glass, "Why are you doing this?" I leaned in just enough. "Because you once said I was insignificant, just a cog in the machine. But you forgot something important. Cogs can turn, and sometimes they shift the entire system." I straightened, gave the table a nod. I should get going. Early meetings, systems to audit, lives to mend. Then I walked out. The silence behind me clung to my heels like a shadow. Later, standing on my terrace, I watched the city glitter far below. I didn't feel victorious. Not exactly. Revenge isn't sweet. It's clinical, careful, like removing rot from beneath polished floorboards. She never saw me, not really. She thought I was safe, predictable, easy to control. She didn't understand. I don't rage. I don't scream. I dismantle, quietly, thoroughly, and when I'm done, there's nothing left to rebuild.